Hello and welcome. My name is Laura and thank you for joining me and flowing with me for this 20-minute beginner's flow. So just before we begin, if you would like to gather any props you like to use, maybe some books or blocks, maybe a cushion or a blanket for your knees. This will be a quick 20-minute flow, so I will be cutting off the video at the end, and I do recommend you take maybe an extra 5 or 10 minutes, whatever time you have, to take your own Shavasana. So let's begin in a nice comfortable seated position, whatever this may be for you. If you're coming into a cross-leg position, perhaps just sitting up on a block or a book or a cushion just to elevate the hips a little bit. To begin our practice, we will be taking 3 releasing breaths, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. So just beginning to inhale through your nose and just exhale through the nose to begin. And then next breath, inhale a long, slow inhale through the nose. Releasing the jaw, long, slow exhale through the mouth. Twice more like that. Inhaling, lengthening the breath in through the nose. Exhale, sighing it out. Releasing through the shoulders, softening through the upper body. Last one, making this the longest, slowest inhale. And the longest, fullest exhale. Beautiful. Now just inhale, dropping the chin down to the chest, and then exhale, dropping that right ear down towards the right shoulder, working into the neck a little bit. Options here to extend that left arm out long, pointing through the fingertips, creating a lovely long line of energy from the crown of the head all the way down to those left fingertips. Breathing here into the space down the left hand side of the neck, the arm, shoulder. And then gently bringing that left hand back in. And then inhale, dropping the chin back down, coming back to the center of the chest. Exhale, dropping the left ear down towards the left shoulder. Again, possibly extending out through the right arm, reaching through the fingertips. Creating a little bit of space and breathing into that space all along the right hand side of the neck. Gently bringing that right arm in on your inhale. Lovely, and then just dropping the chin back down to the center. And then inhale, lifting the gaze up towards the ceiling. Placing both hands down on the chest, fingertips pointing up towards the throat, palms pointing up towards the shoulders. And just allowing the weight of your hands to ease the skin on your chest down slightly. Creating space across the chest and the front of the throat now. Breathing into that space. Lovely, and then just dropping that chin back towards the center. Extending that right arm out long, bringing the fingertips down to your mat, and then reaching the left arm out, flipping the palm up towards the ceiling and reaching up and over. Coming into a lovely side stretch on the left hand side, grounding down through that left hip, rolling the left shoulder back and down, reaching through the left fingertips. Maybe the gaze lifts up towards that left arm. One more breath here. Lovely, and then inhaling back to center, swapping sides, the left fingertips down, flipping the right palm, reaching up and over. Again, grounding down through that right hip, rolling the right shoulder back and down, reaching through those right fingertips, lifting the gaze if it's okay in the neck. Breathing here. 2 more breaths. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. And then inhaling back to center. And just flipping over now into a tabletop position. Shoulders directly over wrists, hips directly over knees, coming into our cat and cow. Really pressing into all 10 fingertips. Inhaling here with a straight back. Exhale, rounding through the back, tucking in the chin, scooping that low belly in, coming into our cat pose. And then inhale, dropping the belly, rolling the shoulders back and down, broadening across the chest, lifting the gaze, cow pose. Exhaling, coming back into our cat, rounding through the back, tucking the chin. Inhaling, dropping the belly, rolling the shoulders back and down, lifting the gaze, cow. And just continuing these movements now, allowing the breath to guide the movement. So as your body moves, it's following that breath, that inhale and exhale, moving at your own rhythm. And then just one more of each. And just returning back now with a flat back. You're going to just curl under your toes here. Now pressing into the hands and create a little dome in the upper back, like we did in our cat position. Inhale here, exhale, just lifting the knees off the mat. We're just here for 2 breaths, scooping that low belly in, strong through the core. 1 more breath here. And as you exhale, beginning to lift the hips up and back, chest moves towards the thighs, keeping a generous bend in the knees, shoulders move away from the wrists in our downward facing dog. Your gaze can be in between the legs here, and maybe possibly beginning to pedal out through the feet. So bringing one heel down to the mat as you bend through the other leg. Just working into the hips a little bit here, warming up through the hamstrings, continuing to press into the hands, lifting those hips up and back. Breathing here, maybe nodding the head yes and no. Releasing any tension through the neck. And then just possibly coming to stillness now. Just one more breath here in your downward facing dog. And then really slowly beginning to walk your feet towards your hands. So walking towards the top of our mat. Coming into a forward fold, keeping that lovely bend in our knees here. So working towards moving our belly towards our thighs. And maybe just drawing semicircles with the fingertips around the feet, allowing that torso, that head to hang heavily here. Crown of the head moving down towards your mat. Maybe bending through one knee and then the other, like we did in our downward facing dog. Breathing here. Gently maybe just coming back to center here. As you exhale, maybe bringing the weight into the balls of the feet, lifting those hips up slightly higher and just completely allowing everything to hang heavily. And then bring the fingertips to the mat, ankles or shins. Inhale, lifting halfway, straight back, rolling the shoulders back and down. Exhale, folding forward once again. Inhale, just beginning to curl through the back, keeping the chin tucked,
slowly uncurling up towards a standing position. Head is the last thing to lift, coming to our standing position, our mountain pose or Tadasana at the top of your mat. Feet can be possibly hips distance or big toes touching, whatever feels most comfortable for you. Just beginning to lift through the toes, spreading them out if you can, and maybe dropping them back down onto your mat. Lifting through the arches of the feet, engaging through the legs, scooping the low belly in, tucking the ribs, rolling the shoulders back and down, lifting through the crown of the head here. Inhale, reaching through the hands, lifting the gaze, palms touch overhead. Exhale, folding forward, again straight back, generous bend in the knees. Inhale, lifting halfway, straight back. Exhale. Now stepping that right foot back, coming down into our low lunge. So just taking a moment here to make sure that that left knee is directly over the left ankle, right hip directly over right knee. And just imagining as if somebody was giving you a little front wedgie. So pulling you up by the front of your trousers, pelvis scoops forward, tailbone tucks. Inhale, reaching through the fingertips. Exhale, right arm forward, left hand back, twisting to left hand side. Inhale to reach, twice more like that. Exhale to twist. Last time, inhale to reach. Exhale to twist. Just pausing for your inhale here. And your exhale. And now just allowing that right knee just to scooch forward slightly. Inhale, bringing the fingertips back up to center. And now just moving the hips forward and down. And back again. Just waking up through the hips. Coming a little bit deeper. And then finding a little bit of stillness here. Inhale, reaching through the fingertips. Exhale, twisting back into the left. Dropping that right hand down by the left foot. Reaching through the left fingertips. Coming into an easy twist here. Options to keep that right leg as it is or curl under the toes, lifting that right knee up off the mat just for a little bit more of an active variation. If it's okay, and the neck gaze lifts up towards those left fingertips. 2 more breaths here. Pressing into that right hand, lifting up through the hips. That right heel moves towards the back of your mat. Lovely. And then as you exhale, drop that left hand back down to the mat, stepping back into your plank. Inhale here, exhale, drop the knees to the mat. Inhale, moving the shoulders over the wrists. Exhale, bending through the elbows, coming halfway down. Inhale, drop the belly to the mat. Pull the chest forward, roll the shoulders back and down, low cobra. Exhale, curl those toes under, lifting the hips up and back, coming into your downward facing dog. Again, options to keep a generous bend in the knees here. 3 breaths here in this downward facing dog. Really pressing into the mat, those shoulders move away from the wrists. Hips move back and up. Breathing here. 1 more breath here in our downward facing dog. And as you exhale, just beginning to walk those feet back in towards the hands again, coming into our forward fold. Options may be to take hold of the opposite elbows. Again, you can kind of sway from side to side here, letting the head hang heavily. Or maybe finding a little bit of stillness. Maybe lifting those hips up even closer towards the ceiling. Breathing here, 1 more breath. And then releasing the hands again, coming to our halfway lift on the inhale. Exhale, folding down. Now just stepping back with the opposite leg this time. So stepping back with the left leg this time and coming into our low lunge. So just ensuring, again, knees over ankles, scooping that pelvis forward, coming into our front wedgie action. Inhale, reaching through the fingertips. Exhale, twisting to the right hand side. So left hand forward, right hand back this time. Twice more like that. Inhale to reach. Exhale to twist. Last time, inhale to reach. Exhale to twist. Pausing here for your inhale. And your exhale. And then just scooching that front forward. The front foot forward slightly. Inhale back to center. Beginning to move the hips forward and back. Working through the left hip slightly here. Finding a little bit of stillness. Inhale, reaching through the fingertips. Exhale, twisting once more. And then dropping that left hand down by the right foot. Reaching through the fingertips here. Again, option to lift that back knee. Twisting through the torso. Rolling that right shoulder back and down so that the shoulder blades come together on the back body, reaching through those right fingertips. Again, maybe the gaze lifts up towards the right. One more breath here in our twist. And then as you exhale, dropping that right hand down towards the mat, stepping back into your plank. Exhale, dropping the knees to the mat. Shoulders move forward and down, coming down halfway. Inhale. Low cobra, gaze slightly forward and down, shoulders back. Exhale, lifting the hips up and back into our downward facing dog. Again, just 3 breaths here in our downward facing dog. Maybe you'd like to side out through them out like we did at the beginning of our practice. And then just dropping the knees here and coming into your variation of a child's pose. So maybe keeping the knees together if your hips are a little bit tight, or if you'd like to work a little bit more into the hips, maybe bringing the knees a little bit further apart. You can even pop a little cushion here between the sit bones and the heels, and just beginning to walk the fingertips forward. Bringing the forehead to the mat. Breathing here. If you're in a nice narrow-legged child's pose, possibly having the fingertips reaching behind you, with the arms along the sides of the body. One more breath here. And then just walking the fingertips back in towards the body, uncurling back up into a seated position. Now just dropping the hips to one side. We're going to bring the legs out long, coming into our forward fold. So just begin, I like to begin with the knees slightly bent, flexing through the feet. Inhale, lifting through the crown of the head. Exhale, just walking the fingertips forward and working towards moving the chest forward and down. Gaze just towards the feet and possibly taking hold of the sides of the calves or the ankles or picky toe edges of the feet here. As you inhale, really lengthening forward through the crown of the head, through the chest, and as you exhale, possibly allowing the heels then just to move further away from the body, just inch by inch. As you exhale, maybe moving slightly deeper, trying to keep that connection between the ribs and the thighs. So this might look completely different for you, just feeling into however you feel today. working with your own body. One more breath here. Lovely, and then gently, just slowly coming back up to seated. Now just scooching the hips slightly forward, we're going to bring ourselves down onto our backs. So reaching forward with the fingertips, and then just slowly beginning to curl down one vertebrae at a time onto your mat. And then just bring the knees into the chest here. Allowing the arms to come out long, okay, if you have the space, into a lovely T shape. Inhaling here, exhale, just allowing the knees to fall to the left, stacking the right leg on top of the left here. Maybe your gaze turns to the right hand side. If you'd like a little bit of a deeper stretch, maybe just popping that right leg over the left. Breathing here in our supine twist. Allowing that right shoulder just to come down towards your mat as you exhale. Softening through the jaw, through the face. Beginning to slow down now. One more breath here. Lovely. And as you inhale, just bringing those knees back to center. Maybe bring the hips slightly over to the left. And just allowing the knees to fall to the right hand side. Gaze may come towards the left, looking towards that left arm. Breathing here. Beginning to let go, to wind down. And then gently bringing the knees back up to center. And just allowing your legs to come out long. Maybe allowing the arms to come out long away from the body. Coming into your Shavasana now.